according to the requirements of Section 551 of the Texas Education Code. Item B on the agenda is open forum. If you have joined the meeting tonight and you wish to address the board, now is the time for you to come forward and make your remarks. The trustees may not respond to items not listed on the agenda, but will in every way possible make sure your concerns are reviewed and if necessary, call for an agenda item related to the concern at a future meeting. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. As presiding officer of the board, I have the responsibility to remind you that the individual personnel issues are discussed in executive session. Therefore, please limit all public comments to program situations and or issues. Everybody got that? At this time, I'm going to call the board to executive session according to the provisions found in sections 551.072 and 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. No final action, final decision, or final vote will be taken in executive session. An open meeting will follow the executive session where any final action deemed necessary and so posted will be taken by the board. For the record, the time is 6:02. And we are adjourned. Back in open session. For the record, the time is 7:01. While in the executive session, no final action, final decisions, nor final votes were taken. At this time, I'm going to call on Superintendent Mize to lead us in the invocation.
Let's pray. Father God, we thank you so much for the day that you've given us, and we thank you for this opportunity to be here tonight. I thank you for our parents and our students and community members that are present here. And Father, we pray for your wisdom as we conduct the business of the district. We just pray that your safety would continue to be upon us. And Father, may that everything that's said and done here be glorifying to you. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Ms. Gamble, will you do this?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag. We're going to stare at this corner. Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
I saw the bottom of it. We got that on video, right? Okay, great.
On behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, our superintendent, we'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. This is always the starting of the year for us in recognitions and celebrations. We go through the summer months and usually meet up at the admin office, and this is our first meeting kicking off the year, and we're happy all of you could be here. So, anybody sign? If you've joined the meeting tonight and you wish to address the board, now is the time for you to come forward and make your remarks. The trustees may not respond to items not listed on the agenda, but will in every possible way make sure your concerns are reviewed, and if necessary, call for an agenda item related to the concern at a future meeting. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. As presiding officer of the board, I have the responsibility to remind you that individual personnel issues are discussed in the executive session. Therefore, please limit all public comments to program situations and or issues. And we have no one that signed up to address the board. Okay, we're going to move on to item G on the agenda, which is superintendent's report.
Mr. President, members of the board, guests that are present tonight, we appreciate you being here. We've had a great start to the 2025-26 school year. Our enrollment is at an all-time high in Mineola ISD, and we know that we live in an environment now where parents and students can make choices when it comes to your kids' education. So we appreciate you choosing us and choosing Mineola ISD to educate your kids here. In a few moments, we're going to recognize our Students of the Month. And I wanted to tell these students congratulations on making a great first impression as you spent these first few weeks in the classroom. And congratulations to the parents and guardians as well. Each of these kids have a very first teacher, and that's mom and dad or their guardian that's inside the household. And so we appreciate the standard that you've set for your kid and the good example that you've lived by in front of your children. We really appreciate that. Our employees that we're going to recognize tonight, they're the backbone of our success as a district. And we appreciate them for answering the call that God's placed on their life to serve our kids in the district. The fall is super busy. There's a ton of activities going on. We have a huge football game coming up this week. We move into district play. We'll be on the road in Mount Vernon. Currently, our varsity football team is 2-2 on the season. Our 7th and 8th grade and our JV teams are all undefeated, so we're really proud of all of these kids and the success that they're having on the field. Varsity volleyball is 2-1 in district play. They play Eustis at home on Friday, which is a big match for our girls, and they're a lot of fun to watch. So come out and support them if you're not going to make the trip up to Mount Vernon. And then also the Mineola High School Act One Act Play Company under the direction of Bryant Cox. And if you haven't had an opportunity to meet Mr. C, he is a superstar teacher and does an outstanding job with our kids in One Act Play. They have a performance coming up called Dorothy Meets Alice. It's going to debut tomorrow night at the multi-purpose facility at 7 p.m. There'll be another performance on Thursday night at 7 p.m. and then a Sunday performance on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. If you get a chance to come see that. The largest band that we have in high school history, they hit the road on Saturday to go to Pleasant Grove. Obviously, the Sound of the Swarm, they have set a reputation and raised the bar that's above all else in the state of Texas in 3A marching bands. And so we wish them the best of luck as they get ready to go and perform in Pleasant Grove as the marching band season contest kicks off. This time I want to recognize, I have 3 good friends here from Rotary and Kiwanis as well, but tonight they're going to be representing Caring and Sharing. And we appreciate what this organization does so much for our community, for children who are in need. And so I'm going to turn it over to Roy and Beth and Joyce if y'all would like to come up and make your presentation at this time and share your information that you have with us.
Cody, will now come up here so we can present this?
Sure.
We can stand up there.
Yeah. Caring and Sharing has been established about 42 years ago. And from the very beginning, when we were giving to the school, it went to head lice medicine. But fortunately, we've seen beyond that, and we give this money to each of the schools for emergencies for their children. If they need new clothes, they have a house fire, however they can use it for the children.
Where do they want us to be?
We can actually, if y'all want to show everybody here, then we've got a backdrop that's new.
Oh,
And we'll
that's
take
cool.
a picture
Okay, yeah.
and be able to share out on social media as well.
Go ahead and show them, see everybody what it is.
Each of the schools will get $500, so $2,000 total to help the children.
Awesome.
Thank you. Hi, Jenny. Hey, how are you? Good, how are y'all? You good? Hope it was good.
Was pretty good. I don't have to be by my wife either.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, before we get to some recognitions, we're going to go ahead and, that item was actually K2E, discuss, consider, no, K2A. K2A, discuss, consider, and approve receiving financial donations from Mineola Caring and Sharing Community Program. Entertain a motion.
I'll move.
Got a motion, I got a second. Signify approval, raising your right hand. Same sign if opposed. Motion carried and was unanimous, and thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. They were joking me when I came in. They said, Y'all don't need any money, do you? We always need money. If anybody's got any extra, we will certainly accept it. So thank y'all again. Okay, so now we're going to move to recognitions and celebrations. And I'll just tell y'all, when we get through with this portion of it, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. So if you'd like to get out of here, not sit through the whole meeting, just at the end of the recognitions and celebrations, we'll take a little 5-minute recess.
As we got the backdrop set up, we want the families and the students to grab a picture with your campus principal as well, and we can take that picture with your phone, so you got a copy of it. So we know that's a special honor to be recognized tonight.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to present the Mineola Primary School Students of the Month. We have Miss Maggie Hood and Mr. Abner Gilbert. Both of these students are in 3rd grade and in Miss Smith's class, and they have been with us since kindergarten. Each of them shows thoughtfulness, respect, and responsibility. Maggie is the daughter of Courtney Savage and Jason Hood, and is a wonderful friend and leader in and around the school. Since her kindergarten year, we have witnessed her become an exceptional leader full of love and friendship. Her teacher shares that Maggie has a quiet nature about her that allows her to listen deeply, think carefully, and show kindness in meaningful ways. She is a leader for peers all around her. Abner is the son of Josh and Michelle Gilbert and has been with us since kindergarten as well. And for 4 years, we have got to witness Abner's quiet leadership and love of learning. His teacher shares that Abner is a role model in and out of the classroom, even on the playground. He listens to his teachers and peers in the most respectful manner, and she could count on him daily to be an amazing example. Miss Maggie Hood and Abner Gilbert.
Maggie, look here, baby. This is your certificate. Hold it like this. This is yours. Hold it. And then if you turn around, look at the camera. Here's my big. Very good. And then y'all can come over in front of the backdrop, okay? Let them get your picture over there. So y'all walk on across. It's fine. Just fine. You're fine. Just keep going all the way over. Smile.
You don't have to talk. Okay, next up is our MPS Employee of the Month, and it is our pleasure to recognize Ms. Chris Solomon, our instructional coach. Not just instructional coach of curriculum, but instructional coach of all the things. Her favorite word this year is internalize, because that's what she's doing a lot of.
And everything is fine.
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be good. Her peers shared many wonderful things about her, and I'm going to share some of those. I believe Chris Solomon is so deserving as Staff Member of the Month because she is such an incredible light for our campus and is an excellent example of the kind of teacher we should strive to be each day. Ms. Solomon not only supports staff with their curriculum, but does it with a positive attitude and is always ready to jump in and help whenever needed and model whatever subject at whatever grade level. She has taken on a blue bonnet this year for each grade level and has done it with such positivity. She is helping us in so many different ways adapt and adjust to this new curriculum, and we're so very thankful for her guidance. She has worked hard on helping us implement our new curriculum and answers our numerous questions about it. She is always willing to lend a hand wherever she is needed, and we can always count on her. And as your principal, I am very blessed by you to be taking this on because we can count on her. No matter the grade, no matter the teacher, she's in there with them doing it, and it's a huge asset to us. Chris Solomon.
money tonight? You heard we take all kinds of money. I love it.
Give it to you.
You got it, buddy? Nope, here, put it in your pocket. There you go. Okay, tonight I am very proud to introduce two students from MIS, Mr. Hayden Barron and Miss Ava Archer. They are our students of the month. Ava is an outstanding fifth grade student at Mineola Intermediate. Ava's teacher, Mr. Burns, describes her as hardworking, kind, and sweet. She is a student who always completes her work with excellence, carries herself with a positive attitude. Ava is also known for being friendly and helpful to everyone around her, making her not only a strong student, but also a wonderful classmate and friend. Then I have Mr. Hayden Barron. Here, get up there so I can see you. There you go. Is a fifth grade student at Mineola Intermediate. Hayden is also new to our district, but you would never know it. From day one, he came in with a positive attitude, ready to work, and eager to learn. His teacher, Mrs. Chilson, shares that Hayden radiates with confidence in the classroom, is not afraid to take on challenges, and often volunteers to read and participate in discussions. He is always willing to help his peers and teachers, and he greets each day with a bright smile and determination. While he's only been here with us a short time, he's already made a lasting impression. Congratulations, Hayden and Ava. You both are making us Yellow Jackets proud. Okay, Hayden, come over here. Ava. Is that what we're doing? I get to be in the photo. Uh-oh, they don't want me to talk about them now. Congratulations, guys. All right, Cece, come on. You're not going to bring your pride and joy with you? Come on. Surprised you handed him back off. Hi, are you going to cry? Maybe. I'll stand over here. No, ma'am. Tonight I'd like to introduce you to Miss Christy Singleton. She is our staff member of the month. Nurse Singleton is also known as Cece, to her pride and joy. You see him tonight. But at school, she serves as the heart of our campus, caring for the health and well-being of more than 75 staff members and over 60 students between intermediate and MMS. Her colleagues described her as patient and kind, always taking time to answer the many questions we have about students who require extra medical attention. She faces countless germs and challenges each day. We won't go into detail, yet does it all with a smile. Staff says she has been off and running since the very first day of school, managing illnesses, caring for medically fragile students, and supporting us, the staff, with diligence and grace. Nurse Christy is a rock star and a blessing to our campus, and someone we simply don't know what to do without her. We are deeply grateful for her dedication and proud to honor her tonight. Miss CC. You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to smile. Are you all together? You have to look at the camera though. Put the big one. Look. Clancy. Melissa's like, what are you doing?
I have kids, you gotta make it happen, right? Okay, good evening. Man, we are starting off very strong this year. Our students of the month are Sydney Rhodes and Drake Doggett. I'll talk about Sydney real quick. She couldn't be here tonight because she is playing volleyball in Grand Saline. So, Sydney Rhodes. Sydney is brand new to our campus, but you would never know it. Her teachers say she is kind to everyone and dives into her studies with focus. She is already involved in so many parts of our school, and in just a short time, she has become an important part of our grade level and our MMS tribe. We are thrilled to recognize her today. So that is Sydney Rhodes. And then somebody who is not new to us is Mr. Drake Doggett. Drake has been a part of our school for several years and continues to impress us. His teachers say he is bright, hardworking, and so funny. He keeps everybody laughing with his great sense of humor, but he is equally as kind. Drake shows every day that you can be both serious about learning, but also a joy to be around. And he has some very insightful thoughts about the new Superman movie. And we'll plug our content creations, MMS content creations on YouTube. You can watch them. It's impressive.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Well, his teacher is making him talk about something he'd prefer not to talk about tomorrow.
No.
Would you like to give them a preview?
She's forcing me to talk about Taylor Swift.
So, tune in tomorrow and you too can learn about Taylor Swift via Drake Doggett. So, Cindy Rhodes and Drake Doggett, they are students of the month. Perfect. Very good. Miss Nugent. Okay. Also not new to us, our teacher of the month is Miss Jennifer Nugent. Many of you remember Mrs. Nugent from her years as our school secretary. She took the amazingly bold step of returning to college, earning her teacher certification, and is now inspiring our 6th graders in science at MMS. And she's amazing. Her dedication and creativity and passion for students shine through everything she does. Her teachers say that she shows us what it means to have a positive attitude and an optimistic mindset every single day. And you hear that when you walk past the classroom. They're having way too much fun in there. But we're okay with that. So thank you, Ms. Nugent, for showing us what it means to follow your dream and make a difference. We love you.
All right, now for the high school. So excited to speak on behalf of these kids here that we have. We have Khalees Palmer and Andres Martinez. Such quality kids, and I let the staff vote, and it was just, there were so many that were there, they're hard to choose from, but these got the most votes. So you are doing something right. So I want to tell you a little bit about Khalees and Andres. Khalees, I'm going to read a couple of these things from your teachers. Like, I think it's good, and it's good for you to hear it because we don't always get to hear that. So Mr. Best says this. He says, she has absolutely given every ounce of her soul for the last 4 years in marching band to help the other members and the percussion program. She has done nothing but grow in quantity and quality ever since. Ms. Chapman says this, always has a positive attitude, which I see that. She brings smiles to everyone. Even when she possibly may be struggling through personal challenges and academics, she never lets it show. You can always count on her to brighten her day with energy and enthusiasm. So those are pretty important things. And so I gave them the questionnaire, and I asked them one key thing, and I'm just going to kind of jump through to the end here. I asked her, I said, is there any student that you would like to recognize for being a champion? And a champion is a new acronym we came up with, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in a little bit with Ms. Stack, but it stands for compassion, honesty, attitude, motivated, persevering, integrity, open-minded, and noteworthy. And these are all things that these kids embody. So I asked her, who do you recognize? And she said a girl by the name of Sophia Duncan, because she's taken on so many TJC classes, and she often hears her organizing and planning despite hard times that she goes through. So it's pretty cool when other kids get to recognize other kids. And so I challenged her with that, and she recognized Sophia Duncan. We have Andres Martinez here. Andres right here. Excellent example of a motivated student, okay? Although he's busy with many FFA activities, he does not let that interfere with any of his classwork. He is always proactive and taking care of work when he will be out, and encourages others to keep up as well. And that's from Ms. Chapman as well. So she likes you, man. That's good, right? I mean, math's a hard subject, so it's good when the math teacher talks about you. Andres, he's involved in FFA, varsity soccer, Chick-fil-A, Leader Academy, student council. Those are all important things. And one thing I asked him, I said, who's your favorite person? And he said, well, it used to be Dr. Thomas. I may be stretching it a little bit. But he said his dad. His dad is his favorite person because he's one of the hardest working people that he knows, and he is always willing to help others. He has looked over me and our family forever. He said he hopes to be half the man he is when he gets older. So that's pretty cool. Definitely embody, these two embody the champion that we're trying to preach there at high school. So congratulations.
You still in insurance? Good? Y'all get a picture?
I know his dad, he might get too much of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cameron Stack. She teaches Algebra 1 for us, and as soon as she got on board, the kids' level of learning went up. And so we're excited to have her on our campus. This year, Cameron and I, when we came in, we challenged our staff to not accept any student effort that's below. We want no status quo here. We want above, champion mindset, elite mindset. Like, we're not going to settle. And we have to continue to preach that. We wanted them to raise the bar, and it was just like, I almost felt like I just went back to my office, and then all of a sudden we have these posters just everywhere. We're like, whoa, what's going on here? Well, her and another teacher of ours, Miss Rose, took on that champion mindset, made the acronym, made a poster, really jumped on what I call my bus. She got on the bus, and she's ready to take it to the next level, which is what we're trying to do at the high school. So we're excited. Here's a couple, 2, 3 people said this about you. I want to read it. Employee of the month would be Cameron Stack, because she always takes on a new task or an adventure to help everyone out. She has done a great job of holding her students accountable and using the champion acronym to really invest in the character of her students. And this is me. She has a competitive mindset, and I think that's what you got to have. We're always competing. To where she doesn't want to accept the status quo and wants her students to exceed expectations. So our employee of the month is Ms. Cameron Stack.
I'm gonna let Coach Sell present this Buzz's Ultimate Effort Award right here. He's got first-hand knowledge behind this gentleman that's coming up right here to accompany him. And I'll say this about Mr. Stacy. Professional drivers, there's your definition right there. And so, Coach Self, I'll let you talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
Rick,
what
this is
happened.
Rick Stacy. Rick, when it comes to supporting Mineola ISD, particularly the students of Mineola ISD and the band, and anything that you ask him to do, he always bends over backwards. The kids in the band talked about it for years. It's like, who is that guy that's always helping us unload the trailers at the football games in the dark, running up in there? And that's Rick. Whatever he has to do. He's had to step back a little bit due to his wife's health, but has been just a tremendous asset to Mineola for years, and we want to keep him around. He's our driver trainer, and so I do want to talk about that. Rick does such a good job teaching. We've sent, is it 8 or 9? Nine people, first time He's not had anybody fail the test. Once they go take the driving test, he's 9-0. So he's undefeated when it comes to the driving test. And we've had all kinds of folks, right? And then some, he was like, there's no way this one's gonna make it. And they passed. And they're like, the testers always say, tell your trainer he's got his folks doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So we're proud of Rick and we thank you for all you do. That'd be a little shine.
Okay, well, this concludes the celebrations and recognitions, and we're going to take a 5-minute recess. Okay, we're moving on to item I, consider information and action on items discussed in executive session, and we don't have anything to discuss there. Didn't take any action. Item J1 is the financial report for the month of August with Mr. Sparkman.
All right, so finished up another school year. Our ending cash balance was a little over $6.7 million. That was up just a little bit from the previous month. A lot of that's due to our settle-up payment that we got from TEA. And basically what that is, throughout the year, your PEMS numbers change, your student population numbers change. They wait till the end to calculate all those adjustments. And so our numbers were a lot higher than they were earlier in the year, so we got a larger settle-up payment. Going forward, they've got a new system in place with the Ed 5 updates every night, and so they're planning on making those adjustments like month to month during this next school year. So we probably won't have a settle-up going forward anymore, but those payments will be adjusted later in the spring, and you should pretty much know what your money's going to be before the summer's over. So that's just kind of an update on that. We finished up the 24-25 school year. We spent more than we had budgeted, and we also made more than we had budgeted. So at the end of the day, we were in the black between M&O and INS. We were in the black about $500,000. We were in the black on the M&O side about $15,000. So we just squeaked by in the black on that. And our bond interest is still holding on a little over $2.1 million. We're making about $8,000-9,000 a month right now in that account, as long as that money sits there. But we should have that money spent here pretty soon. Any questions on any of those numbers before we talk about taxes? Yeah, me too. All right, so taxes for the current year, we finished up the month of August at 95.88% collected. That's down a little bit from the previous year, but not down so much if you look over in that next column from the year prior to that. So I think last year is looking like we may have had a little higher collections than normal. This year compared to 2 years ago, the numbers are pretty similar. So current collections just under 96%, delinquent collections 98.27%. And so we'll see as we get through this fall if some more late payments coming in from that previous year. Any questions on taxes? All right, we'll move on to enrollment. So for currently in the month of September, we're at 1,793 students. That's up about 30 from what we started school with, and it's up almost 60 from what we ended school with in May. So up on enrollment. Attendance numbers across the board are looking pretty decent, 95-96% across the board, with middle school barely leading the way over the high school in that. Questions there?
I got a question back to taxes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So we closed out last year, we're at 95.88.
Yes.
If we collect money now for last year, that gets credited for the next year?
Yeah, so technically that would be part of our 25-26 budget for delinquent collections.
Okay.
Which, of course, those go back several, 10, 12 years in some cases. But usually the majority of the delinquent taxes we're going to collect are for the immediate preceding year.
Oh, just curious.
Yeah. All right. On to
Okay.
the next item.
Yeah. You want me to read it, or you want to read it?
I don't have it in front of me. You can read it.
J4 is review of the school district property value study services update is provided by Purdue, Brandon, Field, Collins, and Mott LLP.
All right, so Purdue Brandon, they're our tax attorneys, and they just provided this packet to us to kind of recap what they've done for us recently, so we thought we would make sure that you guys were aware of that. I don't know if you've got the packet in front of you, but on the third page, there's kind of a summary of the additional funding that they've been able to provide us over the last several years. Most of that's been through audits, and there has been one appeal that they've done as well that's provided some funding, but overall, a little over $380,000 in additional funding. So basically what they do is they keep an eye on the property values and what the comptroller certifies, and if they see any discrepancies, they'll file information for the audits, or they'll file an appeal on our behalf. And they basically just take it and run with it, and they do a pretty good job, and they just report back to us what's going on. And more often than not, at least one time a year, we'll get some additional money. Just right there at the end of August, we got $184,000 from a prior year audit. So they do a good job. So just want to make sure y'all kind of had a summary of what some of that increased funding has been from their services.
Okay.
Questions there?
Any questions? Okay.
Back on enrollment,
Yeah.
that 1793, how many of those are transferred?
252.
252, yeah.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to item J5, which is review legal change requiring seatbelt requirements on buses with Mr. Seth.
Yes, you should have a page in your board packet. This is for information. You're probably aware of Senate Bill 546, making 3-point seatbelts mandatory on all buses that we own that are used for any purpose of the school, whether it's an activity bus or a yellow school bus. And so, if you don't have them, you're supposed to retrofit. That's the current thing now. You see in the list I gave you that of our current ones, we have 16 that would, if we kept those same buses, granted for the next 4 years, then those 16 would need to be retrofitted. The estimate on retrofitting those to 3-point seatbelts is about $474,000. There it is. Now, I got some asterisks up there because, and that's to retrofit those with 3-point seatbelts. Now, that is from a single vendor that has given me that. However, others I've asked for, but the bid process as well as the certification process of how this is happening is still a work in progress. One of my vendors that they promised me a bid, a quote, I called them back and asked them, well, we're changing our stipulations. It's our local Bluebird dealer, it's Rush. And they were like, well, if they already had 2-point seatbelts, we'll retrofit them. And if they're newer than 2017 or newer, we'll do it. Well, none of ours fit into that category if you want to break it down. One of the buses need to be retrofitted is 2018. The rest are all older than that. So basically what they were telling me, they're not going to retrofit any of ours. I have a couple other vendors that have given me some ballpark stuff, but they still do not know at this point what the certification process is for certified installers of the retrofit. What they're going to do, this quote I have now, and this is the best way, it's $474,000. You see at the bottom kind of the breakdown, the Bluebird buses. The best way they see to do this is to remove all of these seats without seat belts, install all brand new seats with them. So they would, in our older buses, whatever, because all those Bluebird seat belts are seats fastened the same way to the floor. And so each of those is about $34,000 a piece. That's the 71 passenger buses. The international buses, you only have to take the the back portion of the seat off. So those are gonna cost considerably less, as well as our small buses will. Like I said, my recommendation would be, if possible, because the compliance date, which is, you can't quite see it on the bottom, is 2029. There'll be another session between now and then. Hopefully with the idea of giving us some money to do that, it'll never be enough, but at least between now and then, I think we should try to buy newer buses like they very graciously did. Even though they're used, those buses that we have, if you notice, we've only got, of the 71 passenger buses, we've got 8 of them that have seatbelts. Well, 5 of those are the ones that y'all bought us last year. And they're used, we have 6 of our 13 routes have those seatbelt buses on there, and we're requiring kids to wear seatbelts. And then we have 3 of our trip buses that do as well. So I wouldn't get in a hurry to retrofit, but you do need to know that there's a big cost coming potentially in the bus side. What are your questions?
How much do we buy those buses for?
60,000 apiece.
Voted for 60. The current price of a gasoline Bluebird bus is between 160 and 165, diesel 170, 175 for new ones. So, yes, but, you know, it would be great if we could find a bunch of those or get, you know, with that school district and find a bunch of buses for 60,000. But what does every other school district in the state of Texas do? Including some of our neighboring districts that have already called me, want to know where we got those buses because they got the same trouble.
You tell them you don't know where we got those.
Well, you know, so the only thing was the person knew, they already knew. There's somebody that used to work for us. They already knew where we got it from. They just wanted some more details, and so I gave them as little as I could. But anyway, that's it's information. There's some money in that to be spent in that area, so we've got a little time, but the way the law reads, basically by the end of this school year, we have to basically give a quote to the state about how much it's going to cost our school district to become compliant. And hopefully when the state gathers all this information, then they'll decide how much money they're going to give us. One of our meetings, the estimate on that, I believe, is Allen School District or Plano. It was several $1 million to retrofit their buses. So that's what they'll be turning in. So it'll be a big price tag across the state. All right. No questions? Thank you.
Sir. 16 have to be retrofitted. How many of them is it reasonable to expect to be in service at 29?
In my opinion, not all of them. No, and that's why I would say if we buy some newer buses, then the first thing we'll do is get rid of the older ones like we did before, and try to come to the point where the newest of what we have left are the only ones we retrofit. The ones right now, the newest ones are 2018. We've got several we got 2 that are 2015s and goes all the way down to 05s. So for me, anything probably older than the 2013, which there's 10 buses I'm throwing out.
Are you saying you think it's best if we did some per year, not all at once, but are you saying that's not a good idea because?
Well, we'd have to do about 4 per year to get the fleet done by 2029. It'd be 4 buses a year.
Yeah, but you said you thought they might change something in that
Well, and
section.
that's right now, the retrofitting, nobody's really pulling the trigger on that because the state really hadn't said who's actually a certified installer and what are the new standards. Because part of the issue, and the Bluebird will tell you this, is it's also the flooring. So that price up there, that $34,000, that's if the subflooring is not damaged to make it unsafe. If it is, you add $10,000 to that. So the standard is going to be, they're still working out some standards.
So we couldn't, if you wanted to do it now, you couldn't not knowing who's going to be certified to do it, right?
Exactly. We could do it and then they could say, oh, well, what you did is not certified. So that's why I'm saying, for us, I would say, let's wait on the retrofitting. Let's see what we can do about getting some newer buses, and then once the certification process is laid out, then we can take steps to get that straight.
So we used to, Keith might be able to say, we used to, every year we would buy half a bus. Now, is that still in the budget? The half a bus, we used to buy half a bus every year.
Like budget, have a
budget,
bus
half of the
budget.
bus,
Yeah.
and then that way every 2 years you were getting a new bus. Is
Back
that
when
still
those
in the
extra in
budget?
the budget.
Sorry?
Back when those extra in the budget.
I just thought I'd ask, we used to have a lot of.
Well, when I started just a few years ago, the new bus was 97,000.
So
That's
the-
what I see.
The buses that we got from Leander or where?
Pflugerville.
Pflugerville.
Yes, sir.
They still have some available.
They had 2 last month.
There you go.
But
But those have been fantastic to do. The only problem, they had a little recall and they sent us the right info, and it's like a $20 part, takes 10 minutes to put in. They've been great.
we might have put out some feelers to other big districts, because what was happening to them was they had declining enrollment. They bought those with bond money, and then they had declining enrollment, so they were selling them just to get rid of the overhead. So if we can get a list of other districts with declining enrollment, might have some more opportunity.
Louisville and Fort Worth might be 2 good places to start.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna move to action items under K. First is the consent agenda. And do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on August 18th, 2025, and the special board meeting held on August 25th, 2025? Got a motion made, and we got a second. Any discussion? Signify approval by raising your right hand. Same sign opposed, motion carried. K2A, we've already voted on that. That was the Mineola Caring and Sharing Community Program donations. We're going to move to K2B, which is discuss, consider, and take action on district and campus improvement plans.
Mr. President, members of the board, I'll start with our district improvement plan. This is a 25-page document. I appreciate Dr. Thomas and all of the work that he did in putting this together. The goals have not changed a whole lot. Some of the metrics have changed, but there's really 3 big doors that we challenge kids to be able to make sure that they're getting through when it comes to academics. But I'm going to start at page 2. This is our mission statement, our vision, and our value statements, and that reflect our core values. This was done when we created our strategic plan for the district several years ago. The mission statement says we are engaged in preparing our students to be productive citizens in society, and our vision is leading today, learning today, leading tomorrow. And then our core values: respect, empathy, resilience, integrity, ambition, and service. If you turn to page 4, this is the first door that our students need to get through, and that centers around 3rd grade reading. And so our goal that we placed here is goal number 1, the percentage of 3rd grade students who score meets or above on the 3rd grade STAR reading test will increase to 10% above the state level by the year 2027. Now I want to pause real quick. I don't want to talk to you about accountability. We're finishing out this cycle of accountability. In the fall of 27, we will start a new era of accountability. And so there'll be beginning, middle, and end of year testing. And how that correlates and how that rollout, how that equates to A through F's yet to be seen. And I think there's a lot of language in the bill that we're not sure of yet, but just know that that is coming. So we still want to make sure that we're still at that level of achievement. And just to give you an idea of what that looked like in the 24-25 end of year numbers, we were currently performing at that level. And so proud of Ms. Ray and the primary campus, because this is the first year where we put 3rd grade on this campus, and so they're taking an end of course test. And so really for the first time in the district's history, you've had the primary age kids leading up to that first test where you can have that piece of vertical alignment and conversations happening between those grade levels, where in the past they've been separated by locations. And so super proud of what they've accomplished this year. The state average for meets grade level for 3rd grade reading was 49%. Ours was 59%. So we're well above the state average, and we want to continue to push that gap and make that even higher. And I know they're doing that right now with the implementation of Bluebonnet Learning. If you take a look at page number 8, that is going to be Algebra 1, that's your next doorway for students to go through. And this ties back into that same number as well, goal number 2. The percentage of students in Algebra 1 scoring meets or above on the Algebra 1 EOC will be 10% above the state and region levels by the year 2027. So to give you an idea what the state looked like in 24-25, 47% met the standard, and in the district we had 56% that met that standard. We have a large number of kids taking the Algebra 1 EOC in the 8th grade, and they're being very well prepared there, and they're achieving 100%. Each year has been the measure there, so we're really proud of those kids that are taking that class early, which is setting them up hopefully for calculus and upper level math once they get to high school. And then the last part is just, I mean, I can't brag on this number enough because this is just, it's really unbelievable. But there'll be this next year's data coming out because the CCMR numbers, career college military readiness, they lag behind a little bit. But we want to maintain 100% of our students earning 1 CCMR point because that is big when it comes to accountability. And you're looking at the state average of about 75%. So for what we've done as a district when it comes to CCMR, it's above and beyond. And so we want to continue that standard, continue making sure that we're offering those courses so that kids are earning those points in career pathways, also earning those points through dual credit opportunities that they have a chance to take. And so we're just super proud of everybody that's working towards that goal. And it's been really achieved. We just need to maintain that. If you look at the other goals, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here, there's not a lot of changes. Obviously, it's the overall development of the kid, continuing to provide next step community services, having our shack, our regular meetings that are taking place across the district, really looking at those kids under the McKinney-Vento Act that are classified as homeless and how we can provide services to them, and also looking at our English language kids that make up 36%. We have 36% of our kids Hispanic here in the district. And so really how can we get those kids who are coming to us that come from a non-English speaking home early on and get them ready for that 3rd grade reading test, some of the work that's happening behind the scenes. PLCs, obviously the implementation of Bluebonnet Learning, all of our extracurricular programs. Mr. McMahon said it best, championship mindset. That needs to be the mindset at every program throughout the district. That's the expectation. We're going to be the best, and if we're not the best, what are the best doing and how can we get there? That's the goal and what we want to be able to achieve. Obviously TIA and providing T-test support to our teachers. That's obviously a big area of what's put in here. Safety and security, it's the hallmark of what we do here. We can't keep kids safe, we lose trust with parents. And so safety is at the forefront, and I would say that you've taken steps over the last several years to be above and beyond. You'd already set yourself up in a really good position, and now with the extra money that's came through the school safety allotment, we just continue to take that bar higher. I've told this to several people, but did an interview with Texas State. They're doing a case study on our Guardian program right now. It's become a phenomenal program, and it's become the hallmark of what I believe that the Texas legislature wants to implement when it comes to standards for training for other districts that implement a Guardian with a local ISD police department. And so we're super proud of that. Any questions that I can answer for you as part of the district improvement plan? Anything that you have there? Also, we have quarterly meetings. I think they're quarterly, but there's a certain amount of meetings that we have to have. We had a district improvement committee meeting the other day. We presented this information to the committee that showed, and so I appreciate Dr. Thomas keeping us on those timelines as David did, and making sure that we're staying compliant with federal law when it comes to this. Any questions I can answer for you on the district improvement plan?
Last week talked you into highlighting next year the
Yes, ma'am.
the changes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And really, our campus plans mirror what the district's goals are. And so, I mean, those four are going to look at what our district's doing and how can they basically continue to improve on their campus to meet our district goals at the end. Because even like Adam doesn't have 3rd grade reading, he's going to focus on the English 1 and 2 to really help our kids, really prepare them for dual credit English. So you might think, oh, third grade English, that sounds a little different for high school, but it's still just raising the bar for our kids.
Each of the campuses have their individual plans as well, and I know that's listed here after the district improvement plan. So we can start with Mr. McMahon at the high school. If there's anything you guys want to highlight as we work through each of those, feel free to add to that.
I mean, you pretty much covered it.
Okay. Anything else y'all want to add? Go for it.
We align ours with the district. That way we're all working on the same thing.
So I know that's usually aligned, but going through, and one had 10 pages, and one had 25 pages, and one had 27 pages, and looking through everything, because I don't have last year's to compare it to, that's why I like to see, you know, the highlighted on what exactly was changed, and maybe what, like the CCMR was trying to stay the same at 100%, you know, just, you know, like underline that or something to say this is what, you know, where our goal is to continue. Because it's a lot to take in. And so first I skimmed through it looking for the highlights, and then I had to, you know, read everything.
And like percentages, we changed the percentages because
Right.
the original percentage is like maybe 5%. We already met that.
Right.
Why are we going for this 5%? So we raised the bar on the district
Right.
side of it. But I'll make sure to highlight it next year.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, Chair, entertain a motion. Got a motion and a second to approve the campus improvement plans. Signify approval, raising your right hand. Same sign if opposed, the motion carried, it's unanimous. Okay, K2C is discuss, consider, and approve the service agreement with Region 7 for strong foundations, implementation, and planning for Bluebonnet learning.
So we received 2 LASSO grants, and part of that grant process is that we work with Region 7. And so these contracts, one of the stipulations is 50% of that grant money to be with a provider, and we chose Region 7. And so I just need your approval to say that we're gonna pay Region 7 for their services. They're providing 3 different individuals to come and help support us with PLCs, with the administrators, the instructional coaches, and myself with the implementation of Bluebonnet.
I thought we'd already done this.
So it's coming in multiple phases. And
Phases.
what happened first is we didn't get awarded the grants, and they were scholarshiping us, and so we approved that contract. And then now we're coming back, we've been awarded
We got the
the
grants,
grants.
okay.
And now they have to reissue us these contracts because they are no longer scholarshiping us in those areas because we have to utilize the grant funds to pay for that.
Okay, because that class that we went to in Kilgore, they said if you applied for it, you were going to get it if you adopted the Bluebonnet, so,
It was just a drawn out process with the state.
okay.
And there were 3 phases of grant money that the first phase we didn't get, and then the second phase, we were awarded money, and then the third phase, they were waiting until after, money was from the legislation.
Okay. And I'll move.
I completely lost my train.
You're on
K2C.
K2C. Mhm.
Quit laughing, Caitlin. Okay, I still thought we were on K2B, but we approved that, so K2C, we got a motion made.
Yes.
And we got a second. Any further discussion? Signify approval by raising your right hand. Yep, same sign as opposed. Thank you. Now we're moving to K2D, discuss, consider, and approve pre-K through 3rd reading and math assessments for 25-26 school year.
So essentially, we have to approve the use of the reading and math assessment instruments until the state adopts us a list of approved assessments. And so those, you have their pre-K uses the CLI, kindergarten uses kindergarten CLI and math, and grades 1 through 3 uses math testing. So I just need y'all's approval for us to continue to use the same assessments we've been using, and then we'll reevaluate when the state provides us with a list.
I like that. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll move.
We got a motion made, and a second. Signify approval, raising your right hand. Same sign as opposed, motion carried. It's unanimous. K2E, this is something me and Superintendent Mize have talked about, just forming a few committees to maybe address or bring additional information to the board. Of course, we can't have more than 3 on any of these. And we had just sort of come up with safety and security, long-term planning, curriculum, and extracurricular. And I think that Jay, you are currently on the safety and security, and you want off of that, and Jeff wants on that, and I'm already on it. That's part of the requirement, I guess, when you have a police department is present, has to be on it. So is there anybody else that would like to serve on the safety security committee?
It's hard to make 3:30 meetings.
Do what?
It's hard to make those 3:30 meetings.
Yeah, okay. So that's, and Jeff. Okay, long-term planning, who would like to serve on that?
I'll take that.
Anybody else? We can have 3 on there, if anybody else wants to serve. Okay, curriculum. Jill. And then the last one, we gotta have somebody on there with Jill.
I just get to plan it all.
Yeah.
School according to Jill.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Who wants to serve on extracurricular?
I'll do that.
Everybody wants to do that. Jay,
It's more
Kendall,
fun.
Jennifer.
Nobody wants to lead curriculum.
Who? Kendall?
Jay, Kendall,
Jay.
Jennifer. Mr. Dossett, you want a curriculum with me?
And I'm gonna sit in on long-term planning too. Okay, so the idea behind that is just once a quarter. I mean, somebody said, well, what's the requirements? How often we gotta meet? Makes no difference. Whatever y'all wanna present, probably do it in December would be the first one. That's 3 months from now. So, you know, we'd set goals, and then if we want to move forward with them, we'd have action plans and that type of thing. So, do we, I guess we need to vote on that? I don't think we have to, since.
Could be an appointment from the board chair. You can put a committee.
Okay.
Match
So we
one.
do need to vote.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
I would think Mr. Dawson could probably.
Okay. So those are just appointments, so we will not vote on that. Everybody's good with that? You know which one you're serving? Okay. K2F's discuss, consider, and approve resolution authorizing the defeasance of outstanding bonds.
All right, so we've had our financial advisor and bond counsel draw up this resolution to have an early defeasance of some of our bonds. So we have a fund balance for interest and sinking fund, somewhere in the neighborhood around $780,000. So this resolution would provide for the early defeasance of somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000 worth of those bonds. TEA is essentially making it to where you can't, they're not going to allow you many avenues to pay your debt off early in the future. So we won't be able to adopt a tax rate for INS that would be in excess of what our bond payment is without a penalty on the state side. And so thought was, well, while we have some fund balance, let's take, a small percentage of that and go ahead and pay down some of those bonds. So that's what this would be for, is for, I think the actual resolution says not to exceed 300,000, but we kind of worked up the numbers on 250,000 for early defeasance, so.
discussion on that? So I guess the motion would be for approval not to exceed 300,000.
Yes, I believe so. And you actually approved something similar to this last year, this time, but it expired on us, so we have to do another one to do it.
Okay.
But was that at the 250? Or did we do
Now,
that?
the one last year, I think we were looking at more like 50 to 75,000 because we weren't sure how big
How
of a
big
pot
it
of
was
money
going
we
to
had. But this would be, 30 to 40% of what our fund balance is. So, financial advisor seems to feel pretty comfortable with it, and it's within my area of comfort. So,
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Motion made. Have a
So
second.
are we doing 250 or are we doing 300? Are we doing not to exceed 300?
I think it's not to exceed
Not to
300.
exceed 300.
More likely, it'll end up being about 250.
Okay.
Okay, so we got a motion made. Do we have a second? We got a second? Okay, signify approval, raising your right hand. Same sign of opposed. Motion carried and is unanimous. Item K2G is discuss, consider, and approve the option for Mineola High School Auto Mechanic Shop and Career and Technology Education Center.
Mr. President, and members of the board, I appreciate Josh being here from Jackson Construction and also Mr. Perry Thompson from Thompson Architectural Group. They've been with us every step of the way through this project. And so you've seen some of this information to be able to be presented to you as we walk through each of those options. One of the options that was kicked around is do you make a new footprint and you create a new build where your portable buildings are currently at the elementary. We talked to Thompson Architectural Group and to Jackson Construction about that option as well, and just the cost and the scope of that. Just felt like it would really be out of our ballpark and we wouldn't be able to get as much structure as we thought we could possibly get. And so if you look at those options, option 4 is what we believe to be probably the best bang for the buck as you finish out the bond money and the expenditures there. He's got that pulled up for us to what that looks like, and these are the most recently updated numbers that you'll be able to see. And so we'll just work through that one more time to show you that, and then we'll open the floor for any questions, comments. The total bond money that you have available, a little bit over $2.8 million that's left. You still have arbitrage that you're going to have to pay, and so that amounts around $300,000 is what we figured with our advisors on that. So your net money available is just a little bit over $2.5 million. And so based off the latest updated numbers, the auto mechanic renovation, this would occur in the gymnasium behind the old elementary school where the CTE center will be. This space originally, the design had 2 classrooms put into it. We would remove those classrooms, which would get us some cost savings, close to $400,000 if we were able to do that. And those classrooms would move inside the building of the CTE center. So kids would go to the building, they would get class there, they could walk out the back door, and they could go into the auto mechanic shop for their work and for their projects. When it comes to the CTE renovation in itself, you see the cost there total. The removal portion, you see that a little over $1.9 million, almost $2 million. The removal portion would be the roof and all of the HVAC units that are there. So what you would be getting done is you would be getting new electrical, you would have the building sprinkled, and we would be able to put new ceiling tiles. We also are looking at a grant to be able to put new LED lighting in that building. And so that would get that piece taken care of. Just last week, we completed the asbestos removal that was in the 4th grade hallway. That was in the glue, the carpet area, the tile. We've had that removed, so we're good there. So that gives you an idea of that bottom number right there. What could potentially come out of fund balance is close to $200,000. And that would complete your projects that you got done.
Now, I have it written down, unless I was mistaken,
That the overage was like 366.
Yeah,
We got some
hot off the
updated
press.
numbers from Jackson, a little more specific numbers.
Can I get that number again, too?
The previous number or this one?
No, I've got the previous number.
Okay, so this
I
one
just-
was about
Uh,
178,066.
the roof is, bigger deduction on there than on this original.
It's not easy to see from right here. It's like being at the movie theater too close to the screen.
And on that top part, the only number that's actually accurate is that net number. I had to play with the numbers a little bit to get it to work out, but the net number is what Jackson has recalculated for us.
So with the HVAC system, we're just gonna write it out with those single units there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing you have, some of those units are probably gonna be better than some of the new ones you would get, just to be completely honest with you. And so hopefully that you could ride out as many as you need, but you're not gonna have to bring all of them online. You're gonna have some space in that building where there's places that are not occupied right now. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that we can get several more years out of HVAC before we start having to replace certain ones on the rooftop. But I've said this in meetings, but I'll say this too, like roofing's gonna be one of those things at the elevator, the CTE center and the high school that we're gonna have to look at some point. I don't know what that looks like as far as when we get ready to do that, but there's some needs that are already there. So that's something that we're gonna have to think about as we move into the future as well. And I think our guys that have been there, they've looked at it, I think y'all would both agree with that.
This proposal doesn't fix that at the CTE center?
Does not fix the roof there. Takes the roof out and takes all of our HVAC, and kind of the thoughts were, and Josh, y'all may want to explain this a little bit more, but you really needed to do both of those. If you're gonna do one, you need to do the other.
Correct.
And there's some asbestos, I believe, in some of that plumbing that's there, so, and some steel fabrication that would have to be done to reset those units.
Yes. Correct.
So what is the current enrollment in our auto mechanics class?
78.
Magpie, tell me, I thought it was 95.
I have to go back and look. It's Brown, I think, what
78?
Keith said.
That's the last number I heard, but I don't know where that came from.
What would it cost to fix that CTE center like it's supposed to be done?
Good option two.
It's option 2.
3.3 million?
It's a little bit over 3, almost 3.4 million. But that just does everything from that's your roof up. So your sprinkler system would be included, electrical would be included, and then that's roof and HVAC.
There's no auto mechanics on that one.
Let's leave it.
Not on option 2.
Not on option 2.
I mean, if you're looking total everything to get done, that would be option 3.
Which was the 4.6 million.
Option 3, you're looking at about 2.5 million needing to come from fund balance to finish that out.
So what's the square footage of
Say that
that?
again. Say that again, what you just said.
Be about 2.5 million
For what options?
to get everything done,
Everything, all of it.
all that were discussed.
The mechanic
Now,
shop.
we're going, if we do that, you said we had some issues currently. You didn't tell me what are they? What are the issues?
As far as on the roof,
Yeah.
the roofing's gonna be, I would say the roofing is worse on the high school campus probably than the elementary right now. I mean, you guys have been up there and seen it, I mean, there's,
Until we replace units.
yeah.
Until we relocate units, that's the correct statement.
Now, the old primary gym, do you guys use that? Do y'all use it at times when the middle school gym is not available for y'all
Are you talking during the day?
during the day?
So yes, we have specials that rotate through there.
They don't use the middle school gym. We're in there every period.
Yeah.
So my question is that gym not overkill in size for what we need for 78 students? It's just a question.
Well, it's a minimum of 78 students. Next year it could be 100 students. The year after that could be 130 students.
The next year after that could be 30.
And that's all gonna depend on your instructor.
I mean, I'm kind of with you. I mean, I hate to lose a gym because I know so many of our people use that gym. But I don't know about,
Square footage, what size, how big is that?
4,000
4,000.
roughly, guys, is that right? Which our current shop is what? Is it 5?
I'm not sure on the current shop.
The old shop?
With classrooms.
We got Jordan University we don't use. I mean, put some money into that, conversion gym. So.
There's no AC over there.
I know, but then you put some money into it, you got another gym. You say you hate to lose a gym, we got a gym on the university, probably use.
That's what's funny, we have a gym with no AC, and we're gonna have auto mechanics with AC.
Yeah.
And we got classrooms that are leaking, right?
That's true.
At the high school.
Huh?
At the high
At the high
school.
school.
Well, should it be in that long-term planning committee? Is this one of those things that we might need to?
So, option 3 included roof
That was everything else.
on the
Everything.
elementary, but it did not include roofing at the high school.
No. High school's not, high school's not ever been a part of the company. It's just that that's an issue. Just keep that in the back of your mind, that's
What's
an
the-
issue out there.
That's what I'm sort of getting at, is what's the square footage of the elementary versus the high school?
I'll have to know that. We'd have to find that out.
Oh, I can find out, that's a good question, I don't have that on top of my
I'm just trying to think what it would be to get that done.
To get which one done?
The high school roofing, they said it was in worse shape than the
Yes.
elementary.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, right now we're talking about dollars for the CTE building.
Tim did. Tim, why? No. Why is it better to lay off? What was that word you used, the defeasance? That we wouldn't have. And then, why would it be better to spend it now?
Because you're not allowed to. Yeah, you have to use that money to be able to pay your note, the bond debt.
So, me and Superintendent Miles talked about this last week. I mean, at some point in the next few years, or 3 to 5 years, or somewhere, we'll probably end up having to do a small bond to get some of this stuff done. So it's not, I mean, we can't do it right now. We obviously don't have the money and the funding to do everything that needs to be done that we're talking about here, because if you, I mean, this is 4.8 million or whatever. If you added the high school roof, then you're probably looking at 6 million or somewhere in there. And so, I just want y'all to keep that in mind. I mean, that's a possibility to do a small bond at somewhere 3 to 5 years.
Well, if we've got roofs that are leaking, I don't see, we're gonna have trouble before 3 to 5 years. I mean, I don't see how you get, if the roof's as bad as what I hear, I don't see how you expect that.
I don't-
Be serviceable 3 to 5 years.
I mean, when I was high school principal equipment, every time it rained, we put down trash cans in certain locations, and we did that for years, we did it for years, until they passed a bond to be able to pass a $10 million bond in 2016 to provide updates to that. But I don't know, Mac, I mean, I haven't physically seen trash cans yet inside, and maybe there are certain places.
When it rains,
Yeah, where you put them at?
the hallway, especially between, going east, like from the lobby,
Mhm.
one towards the band hall.
Okay.
There's a couple there we have to do, there's a couple classrooms, had some issues. And then they'll patch them, and then it's almost
Yeah.
like it moves,
Mhm.
kind of
And
like that.
I'm just sitting here thinking we may be getting a little bit off track, because the bond involved the CTE center. The high school roof is a whole different deal.
Right.
It's just got to be handled separately, because that money, the bond money, was intended to be spent on the CTE center, so.
But is there a specific time frame for decision on CTE? Like when we need to say
I
this
don't know
is
what
when
the
we're.
law says as far as regards, like, when your bond money's awarded to you, how much time you have to complete projects and
Yeah.
I'm not for sure about
I'm not
that.
100%
We'd have to
sure on
research.
that.
Perry, Josh, y'all know that yet? I mean, I don't.
I think it's
I don't
smart
know
to
that answer.
play before we ask for another bond, because we already told the community what we're gonna use it for. We have to use it for that specific item, then we ask for another bond. I just don't think that's gonna look well on us.
Well, the other bond would more than likely be for,
Be for the high school.
I
be
can't
for the high
say
school.
for
We
our.
never told we were gonna spend money for the high school.
Yeah, I know, so the other bond would be for the high school.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
money, that what we're talking about here, is we've already had to vote through, this money needs to go to the CT and CT only.
Sir?
Sorry, you had asked, I found the information. The existing auto mechanics is 5,460 square foot. The elementary gym is 8,400 square feet. The actual high school, you'd asked about, that's almost 80, it's 79,700, and the elementary is half that, at 37,000.
Okay, wait. Okay, listen, my ears were, and my hand were not in sync with you.
Together, okay.
So the current auto mechanics is 5,400.
Correct.
What was the 8,400?
8,400 is the elementary gym.
The elementary gym?
Correct.
And then, did you say the primary gym? Well, we don't need to know that.
Yeah, the primary gym is only 4,200, 4,264.
So option 5 is a new shop. They're saying less square footage.
Yes.
What do we mean less square footage?
It depends obviously on pricing, and that's gonna be probably.
Right, I'm just curious.
I mean,
I had to
we
look
were
at
looking,
gym.
we were looking somewhere around 3,500 square feet, so.
Sorry?
3,500 square feet, but I don't recall the cost exactly on that. So, much smaller. If you have now.
Y'all mentioned timeline for spending. I will add that the grant that we have for the new auto mechanics equipment, that has to be installed before the last day of school this year.
So we have until May to
complete
have
the
put
auto
it into
mechanics
something.
part. Yeah.
That's a timeline. I
So
just
the-
needed a timeline.
The current auto mechanics is 5,400?
Correct.
Yes.
And then there's one classroom,
There's one classroom.
so it'd probably be 400 or 500 square feet. So I'm just trying to compare, if you had a building and you used the CTE center for classrooms. So it'd probably be around 5,000. And we were
Maybe we
talking,
need to get a price on a
30.
4,000 square foot metal building right outside the classroom doors of the elementary.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
a price on that.
That would be, yeah, I would say yes. It's a 5,000 square foot, 4,000, something square foot building cost.
My husband's entire body shop
Do
is
what?
5,400 square foot. And that has a massive.
Well, they can.
They can, but it might take a little time.
Yeah, it'd take a little bit of time. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, is get them to price out a 3,500 to 4,000 square foot brand new building with no office space.
Just a shop.
And then,
That's smaller than what we got now.
do what?
That's smaller than what we have now. You said it's
5,000 square foot.
It's 5,000 now. It's 5,400, but it's got a classroom.
Actually, I think classroom is bigger than 400 square feet, to be honest with you.
Do what?
So I think classroom is bigger than 400 square feet.
Is it?
It's a pretty big classroom.
Okay.
No, it's not.
That's not, I thought it was pretty big.
Yes.
I mean, we can certainly table this and get a bid for next month with the building if that's.
He said that we have to, for grant money for all the tools and equipment, we have to have it installed before the end of the year. Before the last-
So that makes
Before,
sense.
by May of
Last day of
2026,
school.
by the end of, May or middle of May.
We got, well, but install means set in the building ready to work.
Yeah, the kids have to use it at least one day this school year.
How long is it gonna take?
Building.
If we put this on for another month.
How long would it take to build?
That's gonna take, to do a new build, new slab and everything.
One of the other issues that we'll have with that is obviously slab preparation and subgrade preparation and utility input. So it's not just a one for one. That's the biggest issue. You're gonna find cost per square foot is going to be higher.
Keith, how much money will we be losing if we don't use that scholarship?
I'm gonna have to bring in the testing lab.
Almost 300,000.
Possible to go apply for it again?
So it would be one of those grant situations that if we don't accept it, since we've already said it, we probably never get one ever again, and they're very prestigious, it's a very prestigious grant. I mean, they don't award very many of them, and
So, just to clarify, if we wanted to build a 4,000 square foot shop, no classroom,
Correct.
can it be finished by May of '26?
There's some variables with that. I mean, I'm gonna have to bring a testing lab in. There's a chance I gotta haul off and bring in select fill. That's gonna add time there and money quite a bit.
And another issue with regard to this is we currently have proposed the fire line for both of the CTE building and the auto mechanics. That's factored in the numbers here. So we'll have to run an additional line to that. We could eliminate the fire suppression in the existing gymnasium if we cut our alterations down or do nothing with that. CTE has to be, has a fire suppression system. The new auto mechanic shop would have to have a fire suppression system in it as well. So there's a lot of additional costs that would be incurred in the new facility versus the existing one that's already there. Example, one of the things that we ought to have is an exhaust evacuation system, evac system, that we'll have to do. We are cutting out some concrete and installing lifts, which the cutting of concrete wouldn't be done, but that's a minor cost compared to the lift itself, the actual installation portion of that.
For your experience and your wisdom, would it be wise for us to move forward with that idea and be done by May?
The current idea or the proposed?
The proposed idea about a new building. I think it would be a wise business decision for us to try to push that by
I
May.
personally don't think it is, but that's a personal opinion on my
If
side.
we push this a month, we're not gonna have enough schedule to
My-
get done by the end of school year.
Yeah.
You're telling me 1 month to get numbers and discussion, we won't have anything done
No,
by May?
I'm not saying we won't have anything done, but it's gonna be hard to have it completely finished with all the equipment in for.
But if we don't make a decision, so you're telling me that if we make a decision tonight, you're gonna guarantee it's ready to go by the end of school year?
Based on the options that we have.
No doubt, no weather, no anything, nothing else is gonna matter, but we have to make the decision right this second.
I'm not saying you have to make a decision right this second. I'm just saying if we push it a month and then TPs go out, it's probably gonna be closer to the end of the following month before I can get anything started.
Josh, the current schedule that y'all have out, when is that showing completion of everything?
So really the question is, lose the gym or lose $300,000? That's the question.
5 months.
Option 3.
Option 3 is 12 months. If they go option 1 was just auto mechanic.
Just auto
It's
mechanics,
5
5
months, which is what they're.
So it sounds like there's a good chance we can get grant money if we use the gym. That's kind of cutting it close.
He said,
But you said that was one of the options, that wasn't all the options. So that was just for the gym, that's just options, wasn't it?
yeah, but we're not up against the deadline in the classroom.
No.
No.
And the only thing, to do what Keith said, we got to have that shop area, which is the gym, finished by May. Is that right?
Like, can we install them in the old auto mechanic shop, let them use them one time, and then move them next year?
Nice try,
Same,
never hurts to ask.
yeah.
So option 5, we're saying half the square footage, so 4,200 square foot. We could go ahead and approve that.
That's gonna be on cost.
I'm sorry.
Just listen to what you got, commercial cost of construction. It's not like us building a metal shop with our
No.
personal money.
No, especially if I gotta haul dirt off and bring dirt in.
Well, we have the parking right there by that gym. and there's that parking right in front of the elementary that's already flat and paved. Does that not count for anything as far as putting a building? I'm not a construction person whatsoever. I just know that there are flat places around there that have, I don't know.
The existing parking lot that's there is not a structural slab, so it's not prepped for structural. So we would have to verify the capacity.
I don't know anything
No,
about it.
No, it's a good question, very good question.
I mean, it just seems to me like it's a flat place already, that if you had to build
Sure.
something up, you wouldn't have to clear anything, or, you know,
Yeah. and
it wouldn't be as
The
difficult.
location where the portables are and the gym equipment was, all of that is relatively level. We've looked at that as an option. We looked at doing this separately as an option. I think I've asked JD if he would send me that. We had done some preliminary review on that as far as cost is concerned. But that was before we knew we were gonna have to put in a sprinkler system into the attic, which greatly increased our cost. So, and I haven't got an answer back.
So,
How fast do you think, I mean, to get those numbers together?
We get a special meeting next week.
That's what I was
I'm
wondering,
thinking.
can you have a special meeting next week?
That'll be a JD question.
I would think you could have it in a couple of weeks for sure.
So say 2 weeks, do we call it special?
Move that we table them.
Move the table.
I move that we table.
okay, we'll get back to that, but I just want to be sure that, so y'all are going to get us a bid
The 4,500 square foot.
for 4,500 square feet. First, and we'll have a special call meeting in 2 weeks.
So that'd be October the 6th. Don't check your calendars.
Yeah, I'm gone, for sure.
And location being where the portables were behind the elementary, just north and east of the.
Flattest place you
Close to
can.
there, so we can utilize the two
Closest place you
classrooms.
did not have to.
We don't walk enough as it is. Flattest place you can find.
Okay, so with that said, we've got a motion to table and then to come back and have a special call meeting, hopefully on October the 6th, 2 weeks from now, to discuss it again. Do we have a second?
I'll say it.
We got a second. Any further discussion? Not signify your approval, raising your right hand. Same sign as opposed, motion carried. And was unanimous. So y'all are good. I guess. Y'all know what we're looking
Yes, sir.
for, okay.
We have direction.
Okay, K2H, discuss, consider, and take action on the 25-26 memorandum of understanding with Christie's Safe Haven.
So this is a program that we've been using since the 22-23 school year. It is an abstinence program and safe choices, and I'm just asking that we continue to use that at the middle school and high school.
Melissa, quick question. Parents have to opt in to take that, correct?
Correct.
Which is it's a lot of changes. I mean, it used to be parents opt out. They opt in to be able to participate in those classes.
So we send out a letter saying that the parents can have access to the program, then they can ask to see it, and then they have to actually sign a consent form saying that the student can be involved in their program. And it's certain grade levels on each campus, it's not the whole. I think it's middle school is the 6th graders that do this,
Yes.
and then the high school, I believe, is the 9th graders, I believe.
Is it videos they watch or is it a person?
So it's a person. They send two instructors.
Okay, any further discussion? Not, we'll entertain a motion. Got a motion made, we have a second. Signify approval, raising your right hand. Same sign opposed, motion carried, it's unanimous. K2I is discuss, consider, and take action on updating the First National Bank signature cards.
All right, so we typically, our bank signature cards have our board officers as signers on there. And so we typically update that after a board election if we do a reorganization on officers. However, this time we waited because our bank contract was also up, so we wanted to wait and see which bank we were gonna be with. So, the bank just needs board minutes approving that we update the signature cards with the current officers, which I believe the only change that's gonna be on there is adding Jay and removing James. So,
Okay. Got a motion made, we got a second, signify approval, raising your right hand. Same sign, don't you raise yours, Joe? Okay, anything else before we get out of here? Appreciate everybody's time, and just remember, October 6th, Superintendent Miles will send it out, but we're gonna try to have a quick meeting. It will be quick, hopefully, at the admin building.
Make sure they post it.
Yep. The purposes for which this meeting is called being completed, I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank y'all.